I hooked up in front of a place that I used to stay at Miss Dot's house. And I didn't know he could sing. And he didn't know that I sung. And we was listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And immediately we started singing the song and started harmonizing.
Actually, it was the Winans.
Was it the Winans?
It was the Winans.
You sure it was the Winans?
It was I think from some
Paradise.
song from the Heart and Soul album, from the Winans.
Paradise.
Might have been Paradise.
Might have been Paradise.
Yeah, take me away to
Paradise.
It was Paradise, yeah.
So what's
Right
what's your
where
group
you-
called?
Huh?
What's your group called? Like y'all trying to do?
Our group name is called Renewed Minds.
Renewed Minds.
Renewed Minds.
And basically what we try to do as a collective group is change the mind or the
Mindset,
structure or
yeah.
the thinking of people so they can think positive and not think about all the bad stuff that can be happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And through music, we want to bridge the gap.
More pro-life.
It's more
You
pro-life
know?
for
Yeah,
us.
pro-life.
We're very conscious. We're conscious about our people. We're conscious about the Most High. We're conscious about relationships. We're conscious about nature.
Nature, yeah, especially nature.
We're all about nature.
Big emphasis on nature. Yeah, big emphasis on nature.
That's what we work on
That's the
all the
foundation
time.
of everything, you know.
What you got working on right here?
Well, I got a number of songs that I've been working on for some years. So, but with the introduction to me with musical software, it changed everything I know as far as recording. You know, I was more so 8-track tape, cassette deck, pause button type guy. Then this stuff came along, and I finally went on ahead and invested in it. So now it's like my whole world has changed.
It's a whole
I went
different
from an
world for
8-track,
me. Right.
8-track tape to a digital age. So I'm learning. I'm in a learning process. And the software is Reason 9. The version is Reason 9. It's a professional software. All the professionals use it. So it's one of those things where, like I said, I'm in a learning process. The things you're hearing now is just, you know, me playing the software for face value. You know, I haven't gone in and opened things up really, but I've just been blessed to have an ear to hear certain things. I can be sitting in here and, you know, just doing anything, and all of a sudden it's like somebody be knocking on my back of my head, say, hey man, I got a tune for you.
Right.
And so in order for me to
Right.
get that thought into this material world, this is the medium.
So you can-
software is the medium.
So you could basically say you feel the music
I feel
as in
the
a,
music.
as in a way.
I feel it.
Okay.
See, the music's supposed to change the molecular structure of your DNA.
That's right.
Any kind of music that you listen to. So you can listen to rock music, or you can listen to a music that is not good, you know, as in lyrics, can make you do things that, you know, you normally wouldn't do. But we try to bring in the soul music, we try to bring in the spiritual music, the inspirational music.
Yeah.
We're trying to bring about what people used to have.
Yeah.
That's
All
what we
in one.
all in one. We're trying to bring it. It's like a fusion of music. We putting it all together and trying to bring back that. It's basically all about love. Cause love conquers everything.
right.
Yeah.
It's a love music. It's a love story.
And culturally, you know, where we come from, you know, we know our people depended on music to lift their spirits
Yeah.
in times of chaos. So,
Facts.
you know, we want to keep that same vibe going, only in an up-to-date version. You know, we want to keep
Exactly.
uplifting folks' spirit. And,
Exactly.
You know, because it's a rough world out there.
So who was your favorite groups from back in the day?
Oh,
Yeah, who are y'all influences? That's a real
Yeah,
good
yeah.
question.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
George Duke,
Parliament Funkadelic.
Ramsey
Okay.
Lewis,
Cameo.
Cool in the Game,
Mandrill.
and Mary J. Blige, Roy Ayers. Oh man,
Weather Report.
Weather Report, Christopher Cross,
Christopher Cross.
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
Oh man,
Journey.
Heat Wave,
Heatwave.
Chicago.
You know, I got
You
a
know?
really good question. Like, when it comes to you guys getting together like this, I just want to know, like, where did it all start? Like, what made you all get together and just decided just to start producing and you just start singing?
Well, coming up, I used to live across the street from a guy that managed a band, and the name of the band was the Swingin' Gents. And they would rehearse in the guy's front room with the door open in the summertime. So, you know, we would all hear them in there playing, and it was a live band. They had a bass bass player, drummer, keyboard player, lead guitar player, and a couple of vocalists all crammed in this front room in the house. And when I was little, I used to go over there and sit on the step. And this time, the song that they were one of the songs they were doing was "Slide" by Slave, featuring Steve Arrington. You know, a lot of the old cats know what that is, but anyway, it was a funky song for that time. You know, it was a trendsetter. And at that point, I wanted to pick up playing bass because that's what I was drawn to, that bass line. And went from there to me, you know, learning that, and I went from there to learning "A Taste of Honey," "Boogie Oogie Oogie." You know, they had a tough bass line back in the day.
I remember that.
I was hooked on bass for a little while, but later on in life, I ended up messing up in school a little bit, and not bad, but I ended up having to go to military school. When I went to military school, I was surrounded by cats from all over the world. You know, I mean, Arabian guys, Japanese guys from Russia, all over the place. And they were bringing music from these places. And I stayed in a little trouble, so I couldn't come home. So that depression from me not being able to come home led me into jazz music. You know, Miles Davis, George Duke, things like that. And I started to really like keyboard. I started to pick up on, you know, keyboard. I've never learned music theory or anything, but I knew I had an ear to ad-lib and play keyboard. And I started really liking keyboard. And from there, it was all uphill, you know, in a good way, you know, as far as learning. And the jazz led me into being able to get a sound in my head that I was hearing because of a sound which was coming from an emotional state into real time
Vibration.
And this caused me to sit down with my keyboard and say, well, I want this is what I'm feeling. Let me see, can I capture this atmosphere, you know, with my hands? And so I started ad-libbing on keyboard and doing little things like that. And like I said, I'm still learning. You know, it's still a learning process. But I'm to a point now where if I hear a certain thing going on in my head and it's not too complicated, I can 9 times out of 10 get that, manifest that into this software and create a song.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. And most of the time it's positive stuff. You know, I try not to, you know, we all have thoughts sometimes that are negative, and you know that it could come from anywhere. I just try not to entertain that at all.
Exactly.
But I realize, you know, people are dealing with things, so I try to tap into their emotions also.
Exactly.
Through the music. So
it can cater to everybody.
exactly.
You just don't want to be one-sided.
No.
You know, you don't want to be unbalanced.
You want to be well-rounded.
You want to be well-rounded. You want to be balanced.
And like I say, when I met this dude, you know, we've been knowing each other all our life, but I didn't know he sang. And I didn't know I sang at the time. But I knew I could hold a tune, but I didn't know anything about harmonizing. So, you know, he and I used to hang out, and we were sitting in front of his house one night, and we put on a whining CD. And man, next thing I know, we got to harmonize. I'm like, wow, you know, that was a different sound for me because I get to hear 2 voices live blending together.
Exactly.
So that started a whole new thing. So we got to a place where we started doing our own little songs, and we had a little cheap Casio keyboard and a little guitar.
Yeah, we did.
And we go down the waterfront, and we were down there one night, and we had this song called "Still Tonight."
That's right.
And we were playing the song, man, and you know, we didn't really think too much of it. Next thing I know, man, all these doggone people started ganging around us, and what tripped us out was the majority of them, they were white folks.
You were Caucasian.
And I was like, wow, man, you know, this is really tripping me out. You know,
Right.
They love this music. One guy
Right.
said, hey, man, you know, it sounds different, man. I've never heard anything like that. So I was like, wow, man, we got something going on here.
Right, right.
And here it is, 25 years later,
We still
we
doing it.
just put that song,
That
Still
song,
Tonight,
yes.
to music. 25 years later. So, you know,
You've heard it.
it's something. It's really something. It's a blessing.
Y'all plan on putting out like any projects, like something for like to start building up a fan base for you guys and stuff like that? Because this day and age, when it comes to your type of music, the most played genre as of right now is hip hop. So I just want to know y'all opinion on how you feel your music can affect I'm gonna just say the market of music as of right now.
Well, hip hop is like a movement. You know, it's a cultural movement. It's a way of life for some folks.
Yeah.
Some folks are just listening to. You have positive hip hop and you have negative hip hop.
You got positive, negative.
And to me,
Some people play both parts.
yeah, to me, I try to cater to folks who can't differentiate between what's good and what's bad because. Our youth now, they're listening to a lot of hip hop, and some of the hip hop they shouldn't be listening to because they try to act it out,
Yeah.
and it's not reality. So when I do anything that's catering to sort of a hip hop vibe, I make sure I have a positive message in it.
Exactly.
And that's the key. To me, it's all about a positive
all
message.
about a positive vibe, all
Can't
the
promote
time.
any negativity.
Right.
I don't care what kind of day I might be having or whatever. When I come out here, it's all positivity. Even if some of my notes might have a sort of blue mood to it. It's always a positive message.
Exactly.
And some kind of way to reach those who can't differentiate between what they should be listening to and what they shouldn't be listening
Exactly.
to.
Exactly.
So I don't want to ever produce anything that I need a disclaimer for.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that. That'll save some money.
That's
You
right.
know, save you some money.
And we won't do that.
And save lives.
And we won't compromise.
Exactly.
We will not compromise. We believe that the Most High is giving us this type of a talent
Everything.
to bring us together. I think we were destined to be together. We've been with other guys. We even had a group, and we got together in so for like a month, and we packed out a church. Packed it out.
Packed it out.
Sold out.
People
Tickets.
never heard us before, and it was pouring down raining, and it was packed out.
Still.
And we were a new group called Renew Mind.
And we had a ball.
And we had a ball. We had people 80 years old up dancing
Damn.
because we was bringing that positive vibe in there. And I can still see Mama Duke right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world
Yeah.
definitely needs some positive music nowadays.
Yeah, what churches have y'all performed at?
CCC,
CCC?
Chesapeake Christian
Chesapeake
Center.
Christian Center. We was members of that church.
There
Okay.
was another church in Norfolk on 30-something Street. They had an actual club in the bottom of the church called Club Genesis.
Club
Yeah.
Genesis.
So that was another experience.
Yeah, we used to rock in there. Club Genesis.
And like I said, that was years ago.
Wow.
Years ago.
Yeah, that was in the early 90s.
Yeah, and this is like a whole new program now.
And I think
Everything's
we've evolved.
Yeah, a whole lot.
We've evolved, and we just
A whole
been
lot.
getting together, and people kept telling him, I call him the mad scientist. I call him Spark Diesel, because he come up with some of the craziest beats. I mean, like that is just so crazy. And the thing about it, we got a catalog of music. We got so much music, it's just ridiculous. I mean, wow, we probably got over 500 songs.
500.
I would say about close to it at least.
About close to 500 songs.
We got songs on cassette.
Songs and books.
It'd be
books.
dope if y'all came out with like some old school cassette tapes, like just to put the music out. That'd be dope.
That'd be
Like
different
like a
witness.
throwback.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
That'd be real dope.
That's an idea. Yeah.
I like that idea.
That'd be real dope. That'd be real dope.
And see, that's one good thing about software. I can compose something brand new and make it sound like a cassette tape.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have all kind of effects modules there. You can, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, people like that raw sound.
Yeah. You hear some of the artists, you might hear a song, and I've heard Erykah Badu do it on a couple of cases. A couple of her songs, you might hear the song playing, and you might hear a little static in the background,
Yeah.
like an album playing.
Yeah.
I know exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Like
like
a
a
record.
like we like that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's just a
Yeah.
retro.
Yeah.
It's a retro effect. That's
Right,
all it
exactly.
is. Yeah, man. The sky's the limit.
No doubt. It makes me curious because like you see music come from cassette tapes and it's CDs and now it's digital. I just want to know what's gonna be next. Like as a
Yeah,
form
what's
of
gonna be
music
next?
evolution.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm excited for. I just want to know what's gonna come after this step.
But dealing with cyberspace, man, it'll probably be something dealing with, you having an access panel maybe in your hand, man, where you can
Something
just
might be in your
dial
algorithm.
up a thought. Exactly. You think a song, you just initiate it, and that's it.
Yep.
Is
You
it?
hear it in your ears, they'll be dealing with implants and all kinds of nanotechnologies, no telling where it's going.
Exactly.
But it'll always be music.
Yeah.
So you'll always carry that same vibe. It's music, It's
One thing you're gonna find out about music,
emotional manipulation.
it's everywhere.
Exactly.
I don't care where you go.
Exactly.
They're gonna have a music. They're gonna have a cultural music. They're gonna have a music that is gonna sound halfway where you can almost relate to it. You might can't dance to it, but you almost can relate to it. It's according to what they say.
Exactly.
It's all about the lyrics.
Yep.
Yeah, the music definitely has a movement on you because like me, I know a little bit of Spanish, but when I listen to some merengue and something like that, even though I don't know what they're saying, it's just the tones of the drums, it just make you
Yeah.
Like
you in
that
the car,
reggae
yeah,
definitely
like
get you.
like some Hector Lavoe or your reggae,
Yeah,
reggae,
reggae
yeah,
definitely.
See, that's that culture. That's that ancestor that's in you. You know, because that's who we are, and we can flow with that because our ancestors were always on the drum. Yeah, the drum beat. You know, that's what we were.
Yeah.
And we still are. You know, you get
Yeah, we still communicate
through frequency. It's all about energy.
So y'all listen to any like new type of guys out right now or anything?
Yeah. Today, who do y'all listen to? That's what we want to know. Who do you guys listen to? As of right now, do you still get out the old
I
CDs?
listen to Chris Brown.
Okay.
Chris Brown, okay.
Because I like Chris.
Okay.
Bruno Mars is hot.
Bruno Mars is hot.
You know, he's very creative. The guy is very innovative. You know, he's a force to be reckoned with. The Roots.
Okay.
You know,
Roots,
they're tight. You know,
Yes.
real tight. There's a lot of tight groups. Mint Condition.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot of tight groups out here. It's artists out here. I don't even know their names. I hear my sons listening to. Like, man, what's that you listen to? It's pretty hot, you know. But it's so many new artists out here. But you can always have artists who are they'll come out with one. They had them back in the day. You know, they call them
One hit wonder.
one hit wonders. You know, they'll come out with a hit and it'll last a lifetime, but you won't ever hear anything else from them. You know. But that just goes to show, you know, they were in the right place at the right time and they heard something trying to get in, and they put it on paper or they put it into music. The rest of their life, they pay.
That's again like the rap game, you know. There's certain artists that I listen to, you know. You know, I listen to certain artists because sometimes their flow is something that might be delivering something to me. So I'll listen to some rap. Some rap I'm not going to listen to. I don't even know what they're saying. But the beat is there.
But see, now that's changed. Because nowadays, a lot of them got that auto tune going on in the back.
Exactly.
And so you can't, you know, what's this guy's name? Future.
Future,
Oh my
definitely.
God.
Future's bad, but Future, you know,
He got electronics.
I dig his creative process and everything.
Right.
You know, I ain't knocking
So,
that.
See, I like
so
Wiz
I'm gonna ask
Wiz
this.
Khalifa.
So I'm gonna ask this. So you like when T-Pain? You like T-Pain or?
I don't know a lot of what
King
T-Pain
of
has done, but I
let me say something
know
about
T-Pain is
Mansion
hot.
in West Kansas.
He's a great artist.
Yeah.
He does not need auto-tune to sing.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely
He
don't.
has an excellent voice.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
He can
Yeah.
sing.
Yeah.
He
Tag
actually
T-Pain.
can sing.
Yeah.
He just brought that market back out that Roger used
Yeah.
to have.
Yeah.
He just brought it back out and brought it in a new age.
I'm gonna tell you who else is tough. Your boy Marley Music.
Marley
Oh yes,
Music?
sir. Y'all never heard of Molly
I
Music?
never heard of Molly.
Yeah, Molly Music
Oh,
bad.
man, yeah.
Oh man, he
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah,
He's
he's
tough.
bad. Molly Music. Y'all
Yeah.
need to put him up.
Oh,
I tell
really?
you what, see, and you also have studio artists that are tough. They might not be all that good live, but what's this girl's name? LaToya Luckett. You ever heard of her?
Victoria Lucky, she sung with
Destiny's
she
Child.
sung with Destiny's Child.
LaToya Luckett is
She must
a
be before-
studio
She
beast.
She was before they became famous.
Yeah.
She's a studio beast. Check her out when you get a chance.
She
LaToya
beast.
Luckett.
She beast.
All her videos are a story. They all link together in one story. And her video editor, everything, man. Her engineer, studio engineer. He's on another level.
Only thing I remember from a linked video was R. Kelly trapped in the closet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
30.
That jump was crazy.
Yeah, it was like acting.
Right.
It was
crazy.
A big story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big story.
Then you always got your artists with so much imagination, like Andre 3000.
Oh,
Wow.
See, he on some different stuff, you know. That song you got Prototype.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to have such imagination, man, to even
go
see
out
that.
there.
You see what I'm
To go out
saying?
there like that,
And
right.
it isn't the deep. It isn't so much going on in the song,
Right.
But it's just the way he put it together, that
Exactly.
arrangement.
Right.
But the greatest arranger to me, one of the greatest arrangers to me that walked this planet was Michael Jackson.
I was about to say that. I was just about to say
You gotta
that.
believe it.
If you go through and you pull up I Can't Help It by Michael Jackson, and you listen to that song maybe 15 times, and each time you listen to one instrument, listen to the bass, then go back and listen to the way he's singing it, then go back and listen to the keyboard section, then go back and listen to the little effects he has.
He actually becomes an instrument. Michael becomes an instrument in all of his songs.
Michael definitely was.
As soon as he stepped on stage, he had everybody crying.
Grown men crying.
Crying.
Grown men crying.
Crying.
And a lot of those folks were just crying from the lyrics
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've heard it.
and what they heard topically in the music.
Right.
They hadn't really sat down and really gotten into the arrangement.
Right.
You know, and see, that's what gets me when I sit down and start listening to arrangement. Like, hey man, just listen to the
Great.
bass.
Great.
Just the guitar throughout the song, you know, the arrangement is phenomenal. Man.
That one he
Phenomenal.
did, Human Nature,
Yeah, I know.
Human Nature, yeah, that was
baddest song ever done, but nobody knows he didn't write that song.
James Ingram wrote that song.
James didn't write it either.
Who wrote it?
It was written by Toto.
I thought James Ingram wrote that song.
Oh no.
James Ingram wrote some song by him.
Oh, PYT.
PYT. He wrote another. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
Oh,
Toto,
Toto wrote that song.
Rock My World, I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that
yeah.
song.
yeah, Toto wrote that song, man.
Then Mike got one he came out with, but I guess they must have released it after he died. Loving You.
I think I said it on YouTube.
loving you. That's all I want to do.
Yeah,
That's
Hold My
tough.
Hand with Akon too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hold My
exactly.
Hand,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Akon doing some good things.
Yeah,
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 Akon is
exactly.
nice.
Lights in Africa.
Yeah,
60
man.
million people got
Akon.
electricity.
Yeah, man.
Akon a good man.
Yes, sir. Akon doing
Well, see,
right.
that's what you want to do when you become, wealthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to help.
Shit, that.
Yeah.
You want to use those laws.
It's the only reason I
It's
raised
the
these.
only reason why we do
I don't have
this. We
no
do this
other
because we want to pour everybody in and bring them to another level.
Mm-hmm.
Teach them how to have success and don't be afraid of it.
Exactly.
A lot of people are
Exactly.
afraid of prosperity. I've coached many kids in high school football. Could have went to the pros, but they were afraid of prosperity. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. They
The
don't
thought of having to relocate, change everything,
change
you know,
everything.
People
leave
afraid
your
to
family
change,
for a little
yeah.
while, but you can't be
You
afraid. You, gotta
can't be
step
afraid
out.
of it.
Can't be afraid to change it.
Be
Yeah.
like
You gotta
Steve
step
Harvey.
out.
He said, jump on off the mountain.
That's it.
Have a parachute on.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some bumps on along down the way. You can get some scrapes and some scratches and some cuts and some broken bones. But at the end of it all, when you land big.
That's right.
And
That's
when
right.
you become successful like that, you actually get to see people for who they truly are.
Exactly.
People fade away, people come out of nowhere. Out of
That's
nowhere.
right.
And you also gonna tag along people that want to help you, but the end game is also to get a little piece of the pie.
That's right.
Something like
That's
that.
right.
So, like people just afraid of it might just be loneliness. Like when you get that big, all your friends you grew up with gone. Now you're surrounded by people that's successful just as you, but
That's
at
right.
the end of the day, they're not really your friends.
That's right.
And I think that's one thing that, renewed minds don't want to do.
Mhm.
We still want to be normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
We want to be normal. We still want to be normal. We still want to be touched. We still want to, feel like that we can be talked to,
Yeah.
when we become, the success that we're going to become, because we still believe that we're going to become successful.
Self-belief is all you need.
That's
all
right.
you need.
And
That's right.
our thing about it is, it's not for us to be successful. It's for everybody
That's right.
to be successful.
That's right.
We're supposed to pull up everybody. We don't supposed to go there and leave. We're supposed to bring everybody with us.
Exactly.
That's what we're gonna do.
That's right.
That's the point, yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people they see you doing something good, they hate on it.
You're gonna have that.
When
You're
you
gonna
doing
have that.
that, ain't nobody listen to that, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that.
Like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You're gonna
Exactly.
have
Worry
that.
about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta be creative. Yeah, and that's why I like the one of my focuses is gonna be on the youth coming up that are aspiring to be artists. A lot of them have gifts and talents. If you can tap into them, someone else didn't give them a chance. You got a gold mine. There's so many out here, so many local talents. There's nothing for me to go to the store locally in the neighborhood and be standing in line, man, and hear some girl behind me, man, blowing, real low. Just I'm like, what do you do? Do you want to sing? She's like, no, I'm just saying for fun. I'm like, God knows, man, she has no idea
And most of them just
what's
need a
coming out of
chance.
her mouth, man.
Everybody wants to do stuff for fun now. Like nobody wants to take stuff serious and all that. So
yeah, man. Yeah,
It
so my
messes
thing
with
is
They got a gift too. They got a gift.
exactly,
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't
exactly.
realize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most people just need a chance.
Just need a chance.
Somebody just give them an opportunity.
yeah.
Give them that door so they can step in it. But then as mentors and people who are trying to go to another level, you got to make sure that you're serious about what you're doing.
That's right.
Because your energy of seriousness will fall on those people
That's right.
every time. And when they see you serious, they're gonna change their whole attitude and say, "I'm getting ready to get with this." Because I'm telling you, all of us can eat right out of this shack, right?
That's right. That's right.
It's just
With
gonna
no
be,
problem.
It's gonna be so big.
No problem.
What I want to say, when it comes to this day and age, because when it comes to people trying to pursue their passions or start that business or go move overseas, start new, something like that, people feel like they're not gonna be accepted by the people they came up with. Like I said earlier, like for example, say I want to rap, but you know it's like a stereotype. All black people rap, and that's all you know how to do is rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just like, man, I don't feel like it. I ain't gonna rap. And then you know, the bro got the book, and you reading the book like, yo, you could really spit.
Yeah.
But he's just too afraid of somebody else saying something about him.
Right.
So like that's why I told, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody, but I told him at the end of the day, you're by yourself.
That's right.
And the reason I say that is, if it's something you want to do, you need to go ahead and do it. Cause I like, if I motivate somebody, I tell them you're gonna die tomorrow. They say, how you know that? And I say, how do you know that?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
it's like,
right.
if you want to do something, you need
Make the
to
most
go
of it.
ahead and
That's
do
right.
it.
Go for
Cause you
it.
never know what tomorrow gonna bring.
That's right.
Tomorrow's not promised.
That's right.
Because it's not promised.
at all.
That's right.
And people need to just exit out of that box that people call normal, or what the majority of people do, and just do your own things. If they want to ride with you, let them ride with you.
That's
If
right.
they don't want to come with you,
Yeah.
I was about to curse, but I had to F on the look, you know?
yeah.
And then you just forget about it. You know? It'd be dope to see like a motivated figure. It's a lot of motivating figures on social media, but their main goal is honestly to get a buck at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like they say, I'm gonna teach you how to do this and that. Join my webinar, follow me, right?
Exactly.
You join that webinar, you're selling a book.
That's
just
right.
to teach you how
That's
to be
right.
yourself.
That's right. Always a sales pitch. It's a sales pitch. That's all it is.
And I tell people like, yo, if you really want to learn something, Google it.
That's right.
All you gotta do is Google
That's
it.
right.
Exactly. So information is available.
The
Exactly.
World Wide Web, man, is
Right,
unlimited.
that's why it's called World Wide
unlimited.
Web.
It's unlimited.
It's
You can learn to do anything.
One thing I know people take for granted is philosophy.
Yeah.
Nobody buys a book. Nobody want to go get a book.
Yeah.
Right.
Reading is boring. I'm not gonna lie. I just started up picking up reading, and to me, it's beneficial.
Yeah.
Like, I'm reading a book right now by name John called The Power of Growth, and what he teaches is, and not every business needs to start with a bunch of capital. Because once the money run out, what business do you got?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Like what business
That's
do they
right.
have? And they
That's
also
right.
give examples of people they get so high up and they forget who they are. That's why you say the power of growth. Like once you get up there, you need to still have that hunger. And just like in Rocky, he got so high up. You know, he got the hotels, the money, the girls.
Yeah.
He got knocked out. Who knocked him out? I forgot. Creed. Did Creed beat him? Or did I get that wrong?
You got that wrong.
What you call him, B? Rocky.
The Russian guy, right?
They talk
The Russian guy killed Creed.
Oh, the Russian guy killed Creed.
Yeah, Rocky
And
beat
And then
him.
he beat Rocky.
Right.
Then Rocky came back, he trained and beat him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reading is definitely beneficial.
Yeah.
When it
Oh,
comes, like Eddie Griffin
go
said,
wrong.
he said, reading is fundamental and it's fun to mental. You know what I'm saying?
It's fun too, mental, right?
That's interesting because he said something else great too. Eddie Griffin was one who said, once you capture the interest of the folks in your own neighborhood, in your own city, after that, everything just opens up for you.
Exactly. You
So-
have to grab your community.
So that's
your
one of my-
community have to support you.
Yeah.
Once they get on board, that's it.
Yes.
Everything else will just come.
So I look forward to doing some venues downtown at the waterfront.
That's
yeah.
where we going. We going downtown.
Yeah, so my vision is to build a band. You know, get a band that can listen to this and reproduce it exactly how I'm
Yeah,
arranging.
we want to play it exactly same
like we're
tempo.
arranging everything.
We don't want nothing different.
Yeah.
Vocals gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But we just got to get those people who play those instruments to play it just like
Somewhere in front of that stand.
And we're always looking for aspiring artists.
downtown.
You know, artists to work with on the radio.
We go.
Yeah,
we
always.
going down there.
Yeah, y'all will go down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really
They
nice.
just built that waterside, the little waterside building too. Redesigned it, whatever.
It was something playing last night too.
Well, down there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Always.
In
Yeah.
summertime, always on the corner.
Either right on the Tidewater Drive or still there.
I forgot the instrument. It was a guy, and he would just do
things going back to that.
I mean, he had everybody rock.
Oh, yeah?
He was just
Playing percussion, congas or something, yeah.
Go crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
We only got a few minutes left. Like, as a summary, what would you want the audience to take away from after this video, from you done?
For me, what I want them to take away from it is that love covers everything. It's all about love. It ain't about nothing else, you know. If I can love my neighbor as myself, that's my whole mission, is to bring love, because love covers a multitude of anything that happens.
it's pretty much the same thing with me, you know. Love, prosperity, you know, good vibes, positivity.
Balance.
That's what it's all about, you know. Capture the true essence of what music is really all about, you know. And it's an emotional shape, you know. You're sad, listen to something to pick your spirits up, you know. You're too hyped, you might want to hear something to calm you down a little bit. You get too excited, you might want to listen to some nice cool jazz or something like that, you know. With your lady, you might want something to, you know, put y'all in a more sensual mood, you know what I'm saying? You
Right.
know? So, it's just all
So
about,
music can be almost like melatonin.
Yeah.
You know, mellow you out. You know, which melatonin is a part of your molecular
that's right,
structure. You know, it's a part of it.
That's right.
And that's what we want our music to do. We want our music to make people just feel so. We want our music to heal people
That's right, and make a difference.
and
That's
make
it
a
right
difference. We want our
Well,
music
Now
to
you talk.
heal
That's right.
people.
That's right.
People listen to the music and get healed emotionally, physically, you know, financially, spiritually. You know, we want our music to heal people. That's what we've been working on for the last 25 years. And it's coming out soon, the Renewed Mind. That's why we're called Renewed Minds.
New minds.
That was a